Yeah. At this time, we're privileged, honored to introduce Maybelle Blair, who's the amazing Mets Foundation Legacy Award winner. It's the inaugural award, and it was created by Alex Cohen. Maybelle, come on up.
Oh, okay.
The award was given to celebrate the people.
Didn't think I was gonna make it, did you?
We're gonna do this jersey a little later, right?
Oh. Wow.
They did our homework on the jersey.
Yeah, that looks beautiful, thank you.
The award is given to celebrate people and organizations in the baseball community that are making a difference and driving impact change. Maybelle was a pitcher in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League and the National Women's Softball League, and was one of the first women to play baseball professionally. Obviously inspired the movie League of Their Own, and is largely responsible for the Women in Baseball permanent display in the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. And with that, I think our manager had a few questions for you, Maybelle.
It won't be as tough as the ones I did.
Uh-oh.
Have you seen the women's locker room and our locker room?
Have I seen it? I wished I was able to play and be in that locker room or work for the Mets. It's wonderful, and I absolutely about cried, and you know what happened, Buck? They took me in the locker room area, and they have one that says that's my locker. So you have no idea how I feel. First time in my life I ever felt that's wonderful, to be able to say I had a locker in a Major League Baseball. I can't believe it, Buck.
And that was a big step for our ownership, stepped up between that and the family, really supporting everybody. All right, so here's what we want to, I want you to share some of your stories of your time playing in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Give me one.
Okay, the best thing that ever happened to me was, you know, we didn't have any girls' professional sports going during that period. Probably the closest was our tennis with Helen Wills Moody and Alice Marble. That's what I remember when I was a kid. There was no women baseball players. We didn't even get to be heard of. So when I was growing up, I had one choice to do, is to learn how to keep score because my brother was out practicing. So time I was about 6 or 7, I could keep a baseball score as good as any man, living or woman. So I sat in front of the old radio, and the only ones we could get in California during that time was the Chicago Cubs. That was the only thing we could get. So we were Chicago Cub fans at the time. So every inning, I had to go out and report to the boys because they were out practicing. I couldn't go out and practice or play because I had to keep that score going. So I had to learn hard. So I learned how to keep score, and I loved baseball. I can't even remember not loving baseball, but I grew up with it. In fact, I think my mother's nipples were baseballs. But, I mean, that's the way it was in our family. It was baseball or die. It was absolutely pitiful. It was so bad.
Okay, any questions?
You know, I'm going to get rid of him.
Hey, here's another one. What progress have you seen for girls, women, / in sports, baseball since you played? What progress?
Oh my gosh, what a wonderful progress, just like when Alex and the group took me down to the dressing room. There's a women's dressing room. Who would ever think of such a thing? And today I think there's probably the only one in Major League Baseball right now. I haven't heard of any. And it's going to happen, and like I was telling Alex, the only place where we can break into Major League Baseball, as far as I'm concerned, is umpires. And there isn't any reason why we can't have a women's umpires. That's one thing we don't have to compete with men about, because our eye's as good as yours, Buck, or anybody else's in here. We can do that. And like I told Alex, we knew the rule book, we have to know it backwards and forwards because we would be questioned every 2 minutes we made a decision. We have to know it. But you will be seeing women umpires out here within, I think, the next couple of years. And I'm hoping for that very much so. We don't want to compete with men, we want a league of our own again. That's where we want to do this, league of our own again.
Is that, you know, that was the next question, what progress do you hope to see for girls, women
Well,
today?
Well, there's 2 things I would like to see. I would like to see home of a league of their own again, another baseball league, and I'd like to have a home of our own again, which I'm working on in Rockford, Illinois, raising money to establish that, where we can have a place of our own. We don't belong in Cooperstown. We have a league of our own.
That's great. At this time, if anyone has any questions, please raise your hand, we'll bring the microphone to you. Howie?
Here it comes. Maybelle, I assume you played during the war years. Did you have a husband or a boyfriend that was overseas, and what kind of a distraction were the games from what you had to be worrying about concerning their safety every single day?
I didn't have a husband. I don't have a husband. A lot of the girls did, but I didn't. So some of them had a lot of distractions during that period on account of the war. But we did have brothers and uncles and what have you during the war. But other than that, as far as I'm concerned, no, I did not.
And with regard to the movie, was there anybody like John Lovitz who was a scout or had anything to do with looking for talent?
Wasn't he wonderful in that movie?
Yes.
I just loved that. No, I didn't see anything like John Lovitz as far as I'm concerned. I was out in California when they discovered me, or scouted me, I should say. And I left home, and when I went back to put on my uniform for the first time, was the biggest thrill of my life. Put on that little dress, and I thought I was Miss America herself. And then when I put on my spikes, there's no sweeter music in my ear is to hear spikes against cement or hardwood where you can hear that music, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. I loved it. I was clickety-clacking all the way to the ball field. You've had that feeling, Buck, I'm sure. And you saw that, and you saw that green field, you said, oh, Maybelle, my God, you're a professional ball player. Maybelle Blair, I can't believe this. But it happened, and it will be, because it's a thrill. Us women love baseball as well as any of you men. We love it dearly. And we should have a chance to be able to play our sport.
Abby?
In the league of our own.
If you had to scout yourself, what kind of scouting report would you give yourself when in your playing days?
You mean if I had to scout myself, what I would think? Probably my arm. I had probably a great arm. Of course, my mitt glove was. I had a very good glove. I love that. I had to learn to catch, or my mother and father would have thrown me down the Pacific Coast Ocean. I had to play, or I would have been eliminated from the family immediately. That was my worst. I hate to admit that, because if you don't have speed, you're in deep trouble playing professional baseball.
What does this award mean to you?
What did you say?
What does this award mean to you?
This award means something that you'll never realize to me. If you've been in my day where we had no opportunity whatsoever to be able to be around baseball, the game that you love so much, and they have opened the door up to us women. We are now executives, we are now owners, we are a little bit of everything in baseball. And if a girl is as good as a man, we should be able to perform that duty. But if we're not, don't give us that job, for God's sakes. Don't make us a coach if we don't understand what the hell we're talking about. But if we do, give us a chance. But if we're not, don't give us any token, because that sets us back and we don't need any setbacks.
Great. Yeah.
Hi, Maybelle. So I know you're very involved in pushing for an international women's baseball center in Rockford. How is that project going, and what's the current status of the fundraising for that center?
Oh, that's a good question, thank you. We're doing fairly well. We had the USA team out to Rockford about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, and we had over 1,700 people just to come out to see that. And we only have a little stand there. We have lots to work on. We need about another, I would say, $1 million, and we can start putting the shovels in the ground and get the center itself started. The field is just beautiful, just like when we played. You just want to step into it. When those little kids go out there, the little girls that love baseball like I do, come out and they grab you by the legs and thank me so much for what I have been doing to try to support and raise money to give a home for their own, so they will be able to do this. This just makes, it just does the whole world to me. And before I get on the other side of the dirt, it's got to be done. I got to get the shovel in the ground, and I've only got, I'm 96 now, so I got about 4 more good years.
And you're also a fixture at the MLB Trailblazer Series at the Jackie Robinson Complex every year. Why is it so important to you to go to the Trailblazer Series and support the tournament for girls playing baseball?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I go down to there quite often. Every time they ask me, if anybody asks me to go anywhere to support girls in baseball, or even the boys, because I love those little guys. In fact, all my nephews are nothing but boys. 2 of them can't play a lick, and it just boils my gizzard. All but one, and she's 10 months old, but I think I have a good quality chance of having a baseball player there. She's strong, but anytime I can support any baseball, any type of baseball, men's, boys, what have you. My gosh, I got to see Babe Ruth play, which a lot of you people didn't get to see play, but you weren't even thought of. But I was able to do it, and I'll never forget that either. But as far as women, as far as baseball, I will go anywhere to support them or do anything I can. I don't care what it is or where it is. As long as there's a baseball game, if it's a Sandlot game or here at METS Stadium, I will be there. All you have to do is ask me, and I got my coat ready to go. In fact, I went not too long ago down to Dick's Sporting Goods store, and I sat down at the shoe store, and he says, "What do you want? And what tennis shoe do you want?" I said, "I want a tennis shoe. I want a baseball shoe with spikes. I want spikes." He looked at me like I'd lost all my marbles, which I probably have, and anyway, I put those spikes on and walked around on that cement just so I could hear that music again, Buck. Chickadee-cack, chickadee-cack. You love that music. Yeah, see, everybody that loves baseball knows that story. Well, anyway, I pulled them off and I bought them so I wouldn't hurt him.
Well, thank you very much. At this time, we'd like to ask the women who work in the METS Clubhouse to come on up with Buck and Maybelle for some photo ops. Everyone, I'm going to bring up, everyone stay down, we're going to bring up executives.
everybody look right at me. Keep looking. I know there's a lot of you. Keep looking. See if you get. You're good. Thank you, guys.
Hi, my name is Aranzi. I want you to subscribe to La Cinco Esquina.